died because
she is a poor family's child. She is a poor family's child. Are you saying that me, myself, the family, we are such lesser mortals that we cannot question the great Mr. Rahul Gandhi, even if he fakes, even if he lies about consent from a victim's family? Dr. Anand Ranganathan, we are lowly beings. We cannot question the great Congress party. We cannot question the great Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He can go ahead and lie. He can make the victim's family into a tamasha in the entire country, but we cannot dare to question them, because after all, who are we? We don't hold any position, we don't hold any place in Latvian circuit. How can we be part of the Darbar and question the Darbar on this? Dr. Anand Ranganathan.
No, thank you. Good evening, Navika. I'm going to talk a little bit of law, and it may seem like carrying coal to Dhanbad because one of your esteemed panelists is Mr. Zariman Sundaram. But still, I'll do it because I want to give you the layman's perspective. Now, you see, ignorance of law, Mr. Jata Paul, is not an underworld. It is clear that either intelligence,
who operates his Twitter handle, totally messed up. I repeat, totally messed up. His tweet disclosing the identity of the rape victim's parents, which in turn disclosed the rape victim's identity, is in clear violation of Section 74(1) of Juvenile Justice Act 2015, as well as Section 23(2) of POCSO. Both violations incur a punishment or a jail term of up to 2 years. Let me read out Section 23(2) of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences POCSO Act. Quote, no reports in any media shall disclose the identity of a child, including his or her name, address, photograph, family details, school, neighborhood, or any other particulars which may lead to disclosure of identity of the child, unquote. The precedence to this section, Navika, was Section 228A of IPC. And the Supreme Court, while elaborating on this issue, made it absolutely crystal clear in its 2018 Nipun Saxena versus Union of India judgment that not only publication of the name of the victim was prohibited, but also disclosure of any other matter which might make known the identity of such victim. That is also prohibited. Punishment for the offence includes imprisonment of up to 2 years and fine. The only exception is if an adult victim has no objection to her name being published or identity being disclosed. She can authorize any person in writing to disclose her name. But this is very important, Navika, just 20 seconds. In case of a deceased victim, especially minor, as was the case in this one, a court has to adjudicate if her identity directly or indirectly can be disclosed. It is not even up to the parents. So even if Rahul Gandhi got their consent legally, it doesn't matter. It is not up to the parents. And this has been made clear by the Supreme Court itself. So unless Rahul Gandhi had a court order approving the disclosure, I don't see how he can escape punishment. And I'm sorry, Ms. Sujata Paul, you are a woman. This case involves a horrible crime against a woman. I'm shocked as to how you can defend Congress and Rahul Gandhi.
Sujata Paul, I'm asking you the pointed question. If a consent was given to Twitter and the mother is saying no such consent was given, then is Rahul Gandhi lying? On national television, I want to ask you, was he lying and why was he lying?
You know, the kind of questions that were being asked of the lady today by your reporter were leading questions. If you remember, this particular same mother, no other mothers, the same mother has answered earlier saying that she had no problem with her photograph being tweeted. She said it on another channel. Now, the first time she said it is the most important thing.
The child is a minor. The deceased child is a minor. You can't show her picture or her parents' picture. That's the law of the land. What are you talking about, Sujata Paul?
Your reporter was asking leading questions.
So the fault is with my reporter. The fault is with Times Now. The fault is with everybody else except Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Shazia Ilmi. The fault is with Yes, Anand.
Yes. Thank you. No, I can't quite remember which of the two Poonawalla brothers are lawyers. Is it Shehzad or is it Tehseen? But going by the evidence at hand, I think it has to be Shehzad. Tehseen, what are you talking about? When you talk of Nirbhaya, was that the real name? No, it wasn't. B, she was not minor. The POXO Act for minor clearly states that even parents consent.
Do you know the name of the?
Please don't interrupt.
Okay.
Navika, this is unfair.
Allow me to answer that. Okay, so allow me to answer that.
Please, let me finish.
No, Anand, I'll tell you why.
Well, 1 minute. Allow him to make his point. Allow him to make his point. You will get your turn to make your counter. Allow him to make his point, Tehseen Poonawala. Keep your bulldozer locked in for a while.
Sure.
थैंक यू. मेरा घर भी अंबुजा सीमेंट से बना हुआ है. नाविका इतनी जल्दी नहीं टूटेगा. नहीं, बट 2 पॉइंट्स हैं. नंबर 1, तहसीन इज डूइंग वॉटअबाउटरी. 2 wrongs don't make a right. उसमें भी मैंने बता दिया कि मोदी is not at fault because Nirbhaya was not the real name. She was not a minor. Number 2, how does it matter? We are talking about Rahul Gandhi having violated 2 laws. And I quoted to you the Supreme Court judgment that says that even parents consent. कि बात तो हो ही नहीं सकती. It is not up to the parents. The Rahul Gandhi would have to get a consent from the court, Tehseen. You are a lawyer, aren't you? I quoted to you 2018 Nipun Saxena versus Union judgment. Please tell me Supreme Court is also wrong. Tell me, आज कह दो Supreme Court भी गलत है.
Please reply to you.
Don't do this. Please don't do this.
Can I reply to you?
Yes. Respond.
Can I reply to you?
Respond.
Now, please allow me to reply to you.
Please,
thank you.
Please carry on.
I also, Anand Ranganathan, quoted to you Justice Lokor. Thank you. I also quoted to you Justice Lokor in the Honorable Supreme Court, where he says for any rape victim, even the parents' consent, even if she's deceased, is not allowed. Now the Prime Minister has tweeted the picture of Nirbhaya's parents, and while Nirbhaya is not the real name, Rahul Gandhi has not revealed the name of the 9-year-old girl. So it's the same. It's apples for apples. Oranges
So we should thank Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So we should thank Mr. Rahul Gandhi that he has not revealed the name of the girl, and therefore this country is thankful to him. So the consent has been faked. The law has been disregarded.
No, but Rahul went beyond that. Rahul
done their homework thoroughly.
Just 10 seconds.
Because you end up embarrassing the
Dr.
man.
Anand Ranganathan, you know how convenient for Mr. Rahul Gandhi is freedom of speech. You know, when it comes to the toolkit tweets, leaders tweeted, the manipulated media, then the Congress hailed Twitter that, you know, they've called out BJP netas. Then again, when Twitter blocked IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad's account for an hour or two, you know, they hailed, you know, what a powerful medium. But when it comes to them, Twitter is biased. And then the trending on Twitter, Twitter BJP se darta hai ya Twitter Modi se darta hai. You know, what kind of politics is this?
No, absolutely. But first of all, can I please applaud my good friend Sanjay Jha? I mean, he's really said it, and I totally agree with him. Well done, Sanjay. And can I also please castigate my other good friend Tehseen for bringing in Narendra Modi when he knows himself that Narendra Modi did not disclose the identity. The identity of Nirbhaya was disclosed by her parents in 2012. Narendra Modi, everyone, all of India, in fact, even knew the real name of Nirbhaya. Maybe at that point of time, the Supreme Court had not adjudicated. The POXO Act knew that, the succession of 228 hadn't come. I don't know. But the fact is, everyone knew Nirbhaya's identity because the parents had disclosed it on a TV channel. Not only her identity, but also her real name. I don't know whether I am allowed to take that or not, but that's a separate question.
Allow me to respond.
But Tehseen, you have to forget about whataboutery. You have to come and
you're
say,
wrong on facts.
As brave as Sanjay is. Nobody is above the law. Rahul Gandhi violated the present law. Period. He must be put to jail. Accept it.
Well,
okay, allow me to respond.
Yes, Tehseen, you still have something to defend Rahul with.
Respond. Anand, yes. One second. I am saying, Mr. Modi said in 2019, remember Nirbhaya when you vote for BJP. In 2018, Justice Lokor said, and I quote him, even if the parents give consent for a dead, deceased, rape victim, you're not allowed to disclose the name. And Prime Minister tweeted the picture. So I am saying Rahul Gandhi is wrong, as is Prime Minister Modi. Both should be in jail. You have the guts to say it? Now say it.
Okay, now let me answer this. For 7 years, you are saying, Tehseen, for 7 years, the whole of India, including Supreme Court judges, knew Nirbhaya, knew her identity, knew her real name, knew her parents who had disclosed it. But you are putting Modi in the dock. Now let me throw a challenge to you. I think Modi should go to jail if you are right. If he did indeed disclose identity that 1.3 billion people already knew it. But will you agree with me that if Rahul Gandhi has violated the POXO Act here, which he has, Mr. Sundaram also says, I also gave the Supreme Court judgment, then he should go to jail for 2 years. Do you have the guts to admit that?
Yes. Come on, Tehseen Poonawala. Do you have the guts?
Hear me out. Of course, anyone who violates the law should go to jail. Ask Amit Shah ji to stop snoozing and start acting. Delhi police has to act. By the way, Amit Shah is not even
What about is the degree Mr. Tehseen Poonawala holds, and that is exactly what he will keep giving, as do Congress spokespersons who carry this degree of what aboutry. Clearly, ladies and gentlemen, this is once again a demonstration of how it's never about the pain of the people of this country. It's always about politics. And that's what Mr. Rahul Gandhi has upheld and shown and displayed. First, made a complete spectacle of this young girl and her family, and then made it all about himself and his politics, and then fakery, lies, breaking the law, not just once, but 40,000 times over. And that's what called successful politics, Mr. Rahul Gandhi. That's what called political bravado, Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Up against whom? A 9-year-old dead child? Are you using her to resurrect your political career? How sad can you get? Thank you for joining me on the News Hour, debate number 1. Taking a short break, debate number 2 on the other side.